Here we go now. A case of beer, some barbecue. There's no doubt that I'm better than you. With these looks and these moves, you can't blame me for being so rude. The land of the red, white, and blue will be my home till the day I die. I'm every lady's fantasy. I'm the American guy. The trailer park is where I'm from.
Check. Testing 1, 2.
About 27 guns, baseball games, pickup trucks. I'm leagues above you other dumb schmucks. I'm from where the women are hot and the Twinkies are deep fried. And every day I pledge allegiance to God and country. I'm the American guy.
Good Friday evening, Filsinger Games fans, and welcome to another episode of the Filsinger Games Fan Podcast. This is episode number 28 for February 19th, 2021. The Filsinger Games Fan Podcast, the podcast that just got back from a very relaxing vacation in Cancun. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Grant Pachoco. It is absolutely awesome to have you here. We are on recording this live a little bit earlier today because I'm doing another podcast interview in less than an hour. So we got to get through this so I can get over to that. Before we begin, I just want to give a big shout out to the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons. These are the folks who make these videos and the other videos from the other podcasts from Saturday Morning Media possible. Big shout out to all of them. If you would like to support this show and the other shows from Saturday Morning Media, head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media. All right, we've got a bunch of news to talk about. So let's not waste any time. We've also got the match of the night. We've got a bunch of stuff. So let's go. We'll start with some Filsinger Games Champions of the Galaxy news. We've got our next art piece from War Games 2091, reimagined. Hailing from the planet Rigel, the quiet but proud Lance Atlas has lived on Mars for over 1,000 years. He spent that time communing with nature, honing his mind and body, and venturing to Earth, where his peak physical condition was on full display. A loner by nature, Solaris has convinced Lance Atlas to join the Supreme Gods to even the odds against Doomsayer's galactic rebels. Now, there has been a lot said about this art already, and I think others have kind of expressed my feelings pretty clearly. I don't know, just to me, this art does not say Lance Atlas. Besides a few costume pieces, it kind of looks like a completely different person. And I was thinking about this when I realized that I'm thinking about these sets in the wrong way. I had thought that these sets were kind of like how the old black and white Legends cards are being updated for color. And maybe that was the original goal, but the plan has morphed, and it made me realize that the clue of this was all in the name of the product line, reimagined. These aren't just colorized updates with a few stat changes. These are reimagined / alternate universe cards like the Chronos cards or the CWF cards. In thinking this through, I also realized that I'm kind of not the target audience for these cards. These sets are to entice new gamers who are turned off by the black and white cards that don't have color so they can play in color, and for players who enjoy playing the alternate universe and Chronos and CWF sets. And once I realized these weren't sort of those Legends true color updates like Legends is doing, yeah, this Lance Atlas is fine. It doesn't bother me. Moving on to Filsinger Games Independent Wrestling, we've got the next name for the IWTV expansion. The stiff Robo Ginger is the next talent coming your way with the IWTV Indies expansion. Gary J is a veteran wrestler and an indie to the core. His mix of solid technical skills and high-flying luchador style have made him a standout wherever he goes. These skills and his tenacity have also made him the longest-reigning St. Louis Anarchy champion and led to other title and tournament successes throughout the Indies. And so that is your next name announced there. The stiff Robo Ginger. I don't know. Are we supposed to say Ginger? I mean, if he says it, that's fine. But I don't know. I'm so nervous about saying anything these days. But there you go. Gary J is announced. And we have one other piece of Indies news. Vegas, a.k.a. Zeke, is running a little contest in conjunction with the IWTV set over at the message boards, the official Filsinger Games message boards. If you want to get in on this contest to win a mystery prize, I'm not 100% sure what the prize is. It's sort of a mystery. It is in the Other Indie Wrestling Games forum. Look for the thread called IWTV Set Contest. And a big shout out to Zeke for putting this all together. All right, moving on to Legends of Wrestling. Just announced moments ago, the Legends Expansion 7, the Terrible Turk has been announced. Yusuf Ismail stood 6'2" and weighed in at over 250 pounds at the time when most wrestlers barely broke 6 foot and weighed under 200 pounds. To say his strength and size were intimidating would be an understatement. His mere presence caused crowds and wrestlers alike to cower in fear. In one instance, a wrestler wouldn't even dare to enter the ring with him. Ismail, if I'm saying that right, because I don't want him to come after me, tossed the opponent to the auditorium floor, and the crowd called for the Turk's death, though none would dare come at him. In his greatest success, the Turk bested Evan Strangler Lewis for the American Heavyweight Championship in Chicago. Tragically, Ismail's life was cut short due to a disaster at sea. Legends of Wrestling promoters can pit the Terrible Turk against all comers and see how his legend might have grown had the Turkish invasion continued. So that is the new name announced for Legends Expansion 7. This is an update from the from a black and white card because he was released previously. So very cool there for those vintage wrestling Legends promoters. Another great name coming your way. I wanted to mention another contest. It sees Indies is having a contest. Legends is having, this is not an official contest. It's sort of fun. But I mentioned a few episodes ago about the awesome Bruno Sammartino and Superstar Billy Graham cards that Tim Dalton and Chad Olson made. They are giving away physical copies of the cards, and you can find out how to snag a set by listening to the February 14th episode of the Uncharted Territory podcast. That's the episode that has the amazing interview with Steve Tower. Not sure how long the contest is running for. I don't think they gave a date, but don't miss out. If you want to get pick up those cards and not have to worry about printing them yourself and all of that kind of stuff, get on over, listen to the Uncharted Territory podcast, and you can check it out there. Going back to all these sets, the Filsinger Games sets, the pre-orders for these sets, Champions of the Galaxy War Games 2091 Reimagined, the IWTV set, and Legends Expansion 6, as well as all the Promoter Prime releases, Champions of the Galaxy, Indies, and Legends Prime, will begin soon. The pre-orders for all those will begin soon, possibly next week, as they did say the end of February, and next week's the last week of February, but I guess we'll find out on Monday, because I assume that's when they would go on sale. So maybe we'll have a lot of news next week with a bunch of names announced when pre-orders go on sale. So all these sets ship in March, so be sure to check them out at filsingergames.com. That's where you can get all the latest news. Well, it's time for the match of the show, ladies and gentlemen. And, our friend Encubus has really been on a tear. He is currently 4-0. He defeated Thanos. He defeated Wolf. He defeated Big Van Vader. And last week, he defeated the American guy. And there was a lot of great suggestions for who he should fight next. Bloodline, Matador of M83, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Wolf 2087, and Count Necros. Now, there were 2 names in there. 2 of those names that I just read got multiple votes, and those were Bloodline and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And so I took those 2 names, I put them into a randomizer, I randomized the heck out of them, and tonight, wrestling for the Podcast Grand Championship is none other than Bloodline. That's right, Encubus versus Bloodline. So settle in, folks, as we roll for initiative here. Partners going against each other. Well, one-time partners anyway. And it looks like Encubus will have the initiative rolling an 11. So here we go. I rake 1. Bloodline rolls a reversal on level 2, so he is taking over. Oops, I rolled the wrong thing there. Bloodline taking over on level 2, hits a reverse neck snap 2, and hurt 2 on Encubus. Bloodline continuing his assault, shoulder and arm suplex 2. Hurt 2. Can Bloodline get a big move in here? We will see. He locks in the seat of sleeper on Encubus. Encubus is down. He is going to leave the ring, and he makes it to the ropes, pulls himself out of the ring. The opponent comes out of the ring and tries to hit you with an object like a steel chair. The referee comes out and warns him to stop. There's no we're not going to do disqualifications in here because we want a true winner here. So no disqualification for Bloodline. Bloodline throws Encubus back into the ring, and Bloodline will roll on level 3 offense. And he rolls out of the ring, but he is going to roll on level 2 offense instead, hoping to get a 3. He does not. He gets a shoulder and arm suplex 2. And now Encubus reverses it. That could have been a big mistake. Flying scissor flip 2 on Bloodline. Hurt 2. Neck drop 2, choice C. So let's see. The agility, they both have even agility. Bloodline is a little bit stronger. So Encubus is going to go for the power move, which will work on a 6 or less, so it's going to be rough. He gets a 9. Bloodline takes over on level 2 offense and locks the sleeper back in, and Encubus is only hurt 2 there. He uses the Alpha Strike. Bloodline hits with the Alpha Strike. Down 3, leave the ring. Encubus bails out of the ring again, and again Bloodline comes out, smashes him with a chair, tosses him back in the ring, and Bloodline rolling on level 3 offense and hits a thrust kick, which is a choice D, and this will work on, let's see, he's going to go for the power move here because that will work on a 9 or less. He rolls the dice, and he gets a 3, so it does work. Encubus rolling on level 3 defense, hurt 2. Bloodline continuing his attack with another reverse neck snap. He loves that move. He's using it all over. Hurt 2. Bloodline rolling on level 2 offense. Shoulder and arm suplex 2. Dazed 1. We're going back up to level 1 offense. Leg scissors 1. Dazed 1. Go behind takedown 1. Dazed 1. They're going back and forth here. Go behind takedown again. 1. Dazed 1. Wow. Go behind takedown again. Bloodline really just going behind for the go behind takedown. Hurt 2. Bloodline hits the Galaxy Mover for 3. And hurt 2 for Encubus. Great back and forth action here. Shoulder on arm suplex 2. Dazed 1. Encubus just shaking it right off. Belly to belly brainbuster 2. It's a power move, but Bloodline has the power, so we roll on level 2 defense. Dazed 1. Bloodline just cannot keep Encubus down, but Encubus is a fighting champion. Again, the belly to belly brainbuster. Encubus reverses that, rolls on level 1 himself with an eye rake, and Bloodline reverses that on level 1. Great reversals back and forth here. Spinning elbow to face, 2 agility. They have equal agility, so that move will work. Encubus rolls on 2 and reverses it back on level 1 and hits with a right jab. And Bloodline is dazed. And Encubus tries the stretch power bomb for 3, but it is a power move, and Bloodline is more powerful, so Bloodline just reverses it and gets the seated sleeper one more time. Hurt 2 for Encubus. Shoulder and arm suplex 2. Encubus just not able to find any offense here. Hurt 2. Galaxy Mover 3. Encubus is down 3. Can Bloodline capitalize? Cosmic Big Bang. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We roll 1 die. If the roll is 2 through 6, add that number to the opponent's pin rating. If the number is 1, Bloodline misses. So here we go, rolling 1 die. And it is a 5. Holy moly. So that is the finisher rating is a 5. We are rolling the pin here. So the target will be 7 and the roll is a 4. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and the new podcast grand champion, none other than Bloodline. Congratulations to Bloodline. you are the new champion. Now, the question for you fans is, who should Bloodline's first defense be against? When the show is over, leave it in the comments, and we will see who he will fight next week. Moving on to the question of the show. Last week's question was, if you could add one feature to the Champions of the Galaxy online game system, what would it be? And we had some great answers. Pete Beck says, when you have the whole roster up, being able to start typing the character name and have him or her be found without having to scroll through the list, that would be amazing. That sort of autocomplete stuff. That is an amazing suggestion. Scotty Boy 9999 says, for online, I'd like more special matches links. At the moment, I have to keep the companion handy if I want to run a special match. It would be cool to be able to call it up on the screen. It's a tough one, though. I think they have done an unbelievable job with online. I totally agree with that. It's the easiest way for me to play and really allows me to progress my feds. Hats off to the whole team behind it. Could not agree more. Gerondas, if I'm saying that right, says, I think a more comprehensive ranking system for online would be cool. I agree with that too. That is an amazing suggestion. Jerk Bronson says, for online, pin updating when fatigue is added. I love this idea. I was just thinking this the other night when I was rolling out the final Tournament of Legends. It would be so great if the numbers updated on the pin button. Also, if a tag or DQ prompts return a ruling whether disqualification happened or if the defensive tag was successful. Both great suggestions. And Mark Watt says one that I know a lot of people have wanted for a long time, be able to add add art for created and bootleg wrestlers. I know that there are some copyright issues with this, but I know a lot of people have wanted that for a super long time. All right, question of the show for this week, and this is actually something that Todd sort of suggested that I asked, and that is, should Filsinger Games continue to make limited edition cards that are only available for a limited time or to attendees of certain events? Answer in the comments below. So this came up because of Nacho Barrera, which was given away at the Perennial. If you bought a ticket to the Perennial, you got this Nacho Barrera card. Well, some people did not buy tickets. They were not able to get it. So there's a little bit of a discussion of whether or not limited edition cards should be available, should happen. And I have my opinions on that. I will give them next week, but I would love to know your opinions as well. There's no song of the show. I don't know why that slide was in there. Elsewhere on the channel this week, we've got I've got a lot of stuff on the channel this week. We've got the unboxing or unenveloping of the limited edition Nacho Barrera card. I played another edition of 80s Mania Wrestling. We have my Bring Home All the Action LJN figure review, where I review the Honky Tonk Man figure, and we had the penultimate and final events for the Tournament of Legends. And I'm not going to spoil who the winner was, but if you want to check those out, if you haven't, they're all up on the YouTube channel, so you can get them all there. Hey, did you know that there is an audio version of this podcast available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts? Just search for Filsinger Games in your favorite audio store, and it should pop right up. And also subscribe to the other podcasts that pop up as well. If you have a topic you would like the show to cover, you can leave it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe or follow, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, and be sure to follow GWF Promoter on social media at GWF Promoter. You can check out my personal feds at gwfpromoter.com and lowpromoter.com. The theme song is American Guy by Throwing Toasters, used by permission and available on Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere you get your music. This podcast is not affiliated in any way with Filsinger Games or its subsidiaries. It's purely for entertainment purposes. This episode is copyright 2021 Saturday Morning Media. Huge thank you to all the patrons. Huge thank you to everyone watching live. There's a couple people watching live. Steve is the only one who chatted. So Steve, shout out to you, and a shout out to the other folks who are watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Baseball games, pickup trucks. I'm leagues above you other dumb schmucks. I'm from where the women are hot and the Twinkies are deep fried. And every day I pledge allegiance to God and country. I'm the